first one is an option to maintain the school fees. You can select for the grades that have been set up in General School Information, first module. You can select for a specific grade, then the year it is applied for, and then you select the amount in rands, remember 2 decimal places, and then you select save fees. You can enter text into here that will appear at the bottom of learner statements, and then there's alternative text in Afrikaans. All the current school fees per grade will be displayed over here once you have saved it. Remember to click on save and then done. 11.5.2 Debtor to take on balances. You can first need to filter by the learner account balances, so you can select the grade. Then you need to select the account for transaction. You can mention a specific one here, and then you can search for it on the drop down list. You can then also select the transaction date which it took place. Once you have that information, you can fill in the amount entered as take on balance, your process balance, your amount still to be balanced. Once that information is in, you can then process the transaction. If a learner owes money from previous year, then enter the amount owing in the take on balance column next to the learner's name. So you need to fill this information in if the learner owes you money from the previous year. If the learner is in credit, then enter a negative amount. Because we're working with the amount of debt, if they're in credit, then it is a negative amount. Once you have this information, click on done. The next one is 11.5.3 learner billing. First you select a grade. You can choose the transaction date itself. Does it fall under the annual school fees or the monthly school fees? Those messages that popped up were to remind you to choose a specific account number and then the account itself, and then to make sure before you input an amount, you need to specify exactly what account it goes into and who the account belongs to, so by ticking one of the learners. Click on done to close this. Then we're on to 11.5.4 school fee exemptions. If there's a specific learner that's exempt to fees for some reason, then you can click on the class first, then you can select a specific amount of debt, and then you can show which ones are exempt. To maintain exemption, to actually set it up, you can select the learner's name, their account number, how much they are in debt, then any history of previous history that is associated with that learner. Any new exemption application, you can capture the information here. When was the application made, the type, what was applied for, if it was granted, and then mark corrected application cells with an X. So you click in there and you press X. Any comments that you want to add are placed here. Example, a reason for refusal or condition for exemption. Then lastly, the transaction details, detailing what account it comes from, and then any debt or credit. And the exemption amount is placed in the last column. For example, school fees, if it is 800 Rand, then the exemption, if you've exempted them fully, then it would be 800 Rand here as well. Remember to save your information and then click on done. We are back on the select learner for exemption, and then click on done again. The next one is 11.5.5 debtors age analysis. To view it, you first need to filter by grade and then again by class, selecting the month end to view and then clicking on go, which will generate this report. Any negative amount means overpayment by a debtor, and then therefore they'll be in credit. And this gives you your 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and over 90 days with the total at the end. You can export this to Excel or print it, and then click on done when you're finished. The next one, 11.5.6, school fee collections. The collection summary for the current year, or you can print the full balance details per learner per grade, and then you can select specifically a grade and click on print. When you're finished, click on done. 11.5.11, learners and account numbers. If you wish to find a specific account number for a learner, you can filter by the grade, or you can search by surname starting with, or account number search. Again, you can print and export this. At the bottom, it will show you the number of learners displayed on the specific grid. And click on done. If you wish to view or print learner statements, there's an option for individual ones, or you can print multiple statements for either the current year, and then by selecting either the whole grade or a specific class. Remember to specify your summary date, and then the total number of learners per language is another filter option. You can select English or Afrikaans. Please remember that language groups print consecutively, and report language must be assigned for each learner to use multiple print options. So only those learners that have a report language assigned to them will be printed, and they are printed consecutively. The two options at the bottom, you can print only statements with balances, or print all statements with the whole grade or class selected. Remember, current year statements will not be correct if previous financial year end procedure was not run. Click on done to close this. 11.5.13, if you want to view or print account payers, you can select by surname, and you can view the selected account specifically, or you can print that specific list that is shown. You can also search for the parent by their surname, and then click on done to finish. If you wish to change an account payer, you can select the grade and then select the specific learner. Their details will appear here. Then you can click on the parents. It's the same as we did in the previous module, where you can select a specific parent. You can change set parents as a parent that learner resides with, or you can set the parent as a payer. So if you need to change account details, you can go into the financial module to change the specific parents. Then you can click on done. 11.5.15, learners with no account payer. It will just summarize as a list for you of learners with no specific account payers. Then the last one, archived learners with balances. It will show you a list of archived learners that still have outstanding balances. So this may need to be written off at the end of the financial year, and then click on done.